I want to wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day. I hope it's going very well for you. The great hallmark day to celebrate love with your special someone, and it is special, and especially when you truly love and you want to share that love with that special person. So, needless to say, I thought I'd come and share some thoughts about what true love is all about and how maybe we can better that love that we have for each other. Because, see, when you look at the word love itself, a lot of people can think that it means so many different things. And yet, really, a definition of love that I came across many years ago, I'm going to be totally honest, I forgot even where it came from, but I have used it for years, and I believe it says it all because it defines love in its truest sense. Because, see, love is intentionally giving of yourself to another person, regardless of the cost or consequences to oneself. Now, think about that for a moment. That's a powerful definition. Because what that is really saying is that you are intentionally, you are giving yourself to another person and showing that person how much you love them. And that is so important. And we talk about love in so many different ways. And how many of you really, if you're, think about it, talking to other people, go to counselors, you say, you know what? I know he or she loves me, but I just really wish it really came from the heart. That he really meant it, or shall I say, intentional with that type of love. See, that's what makes it so special. It's like, let's take Valentine's Day. When you do something out of the ordinary on a day that we call Valentine's Day, it means so much to that person that you love. Whether it's the flowers, whether it's the chocolates, the lunches, the dinners, whatever it might be, it's special. And in fact, I got to share something with you. My wife gave to me. This is pretty cool. Look at this card. I really just thought it cool. And it reads, Happy Valentine's Day to my husband. Hot date for life. That's really cool. I was really excited to have it. It's just a simple card. But yet it says so much. And it meant so much to me. And that's really called intentional love. And now, when we think of this love, let's go to the next part of that definition where it says it is regardless of the cost or consequences to oneself. Now, what that simply means is that it's an unselfish type of love. Sometimes love costs us. It really does. It can cost us emotionally, feelings that we have, mentally, the thoughts that we have, physically, maybe things that we do or maybe not even do. And so these are the things that we got to understand that encompasses love. It is that unselfishness. And I got to tell you, I got to bring it right to you right now. On this every Valentine's Day, but really every day of my life, to be honest with you, I think of God's love for us. That's what we need to focus on. And I mean, if you really want a good role model to love, and if you really want to share love in its purest form, look at what Jesus Christ has done for us. He gave up himself for us. We call that, the Greek word is called Agape Love. It's unconditional love, no strings attached. It's unselfish type of love. I mean, the Bible says, what greater love does a man have than give up his life? That's special. And that's what God did for us when he gave up his own son, Jesus. He said he loved us so much that he gave us his son, who, what did he do? He went to the cross. Because we're all selfish in our own ways, aren't we? I mean, in fact, to use the word sin, a lot of the stuff is simply, that's selfishness. If you want to define that word, it's really dwelling on the self. That's what sin is. Only putting yourself first. And we put ourselves first in so many different areas of our lives. It's unfortunate. And that's where we fall short of God's wonderful glory. But what Jesus said is that he took that selfishness and nailed it to the cross. He sacrificed himself to the cross, regardless what? Of the cost and consequences to oneself. That's love, man. That's a fantastic love. Here just talking about it, it actually excites me. I said, here, Tim DeSanto, messed up, sinful, thinking of myself, doing it so many times. I mean, I don't want to, but I still do it anyways. Come on, let's be honest. I do it. And do you ever get just mad at yourself? You feel like smacking yourself upside the head because you do it so often. And yet God says, Tim, I love you. And I went to the cross to pay that price for that sin, for that selfishness. That's love. And that's a love. You say, how can I translate that into my life? Very easily. First and foremost, I would accept Jesus' love for you. That he loved you so much. That all the times you felt like you want to smack yourself in the head because you did something wrong, even though you don't want to openly admit it. Come on, you don't want to openly admit it, so you keep it to yourself. But guess what? It's still wrong. You know it. God knows it. So God is saying, I love you so much that can be forgiven, and I paid the price on the cross for you. That's love. That's a great love. And that's how you can apply it to your life with your relationship with God. What are you doing today? What are you doing? Maybe this Valentine's Day could be the greatest day of your life, where you finally understand what God's love is all about. That it's not what you say or do or think. You can't do enough in this world to get and earn God's love. But what you can do is simply say, God, I accept your love for me. I accept what you have done for me. And know that God is there to love you, to hold you, to pick you up, and to say, you're forgiven, you're loved, let's move on in life. That's the beauty of having a love relationship with Jesus. But then it doesn't stop there. That's what's so exciting. God says, love your neighbor as thyself. He says, the two great commandments, love God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. And it says, and the second is like it, love your neighbor as thyself. And that's very simple. You know what that is? You love other people. You care for other people. Your spouse, if you're married, your boyfriend, your children, your girlfriend, other family members. In fact, Jesus says even your enemies. We love. We give that love. And we don't worry about what's in it for me. See, that's the point that we got to get over. Get the selfishness out of your head. It's not life and love is not about what's in it for me. Because I'll guarantee you, the more you give of yourself to other people, the more you will receive. You know how I know that? God promises, number one, and that's good in and of itself. It's called the law of reciprocity. What you sow, you reap. And that holds true in everything in life. But even more than that, personally, I can vouch for it. The more I give, when I get in my selfish modes, it just seems to get more down, more depressed, and life doesn't seem as enjoyable. But when you start giving yourself to other people, and not for any reason, not for any gain to yourself, it's amazing. It's amazing how it frees you and how good you feel deep inside you. That's where love comes into fruition in your everyday life. That's what makes the love the greatest thing of all. It's love. And remind yourself of this. See, some people confuse love and like. And there's a big difference. In fact, to me, that's what unlocks that one passage where Jesus says, even love your enemies. Well, you know how you can do that? He says you got to love them. Doesn't say you got to like them. Nowhere there. And there's a difference between love and like. Love is when you take on that person, that attitude of wanting to help other people regardless, not wanting to do harm. I may not like someone and they may be an idiot or stupid or something, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that I can't love them, that I can't help them, or I can't, do things that will hopefully maybe get them out of their asses easy, if you know what I'm saying. And so, that's the difference between love and like. How many people you have in your family? You can love them, but let's be honest. Do you like them? Do you like being around them? Especially when you're watching a big football game and you know, they're that family member. You say, who is he? Huh? Come on. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. You may not like them, but you still love them. Big difference between love and like. And when you understand that difference between love and like, it will unlock so many relationships and situations that you put yourself into. And that's what's so special. So there's so much to talk about with love. I mean, obviously I can talk on and on and on, and I don't mean to, and I will definitely hit this topic many times over through our talks together. But I just thought it was a good time on this Valentine's Day to maybe encourage you to understand what true love is all about. It's not about the feeling. It's not about the emotion, because truthfully, emotions are fleeting. You know, sometimes I feel great. 5 minutes later, I can feel terrible. You know that as well as I do. We go through that. And that's why true love is not based on your emotions and on your feelings. It's not given, love is not given to the emotional winds of time, wherever it blows and whatever it feels. But what it is given to, it's given on your commitment to give of yourself to other people, regardless of the cost or consequences to oneself. You know, God said in his word, he says, in the Psalms, he says, you know, we, the human beings, are the crowning touch of his creation. That's how special people are. And you're special. You're listening to this, I want to tell you, you are so special. And I can say that because I may not even know you, obviously. But at the same time, God promises that we being the crowning touch, that jewel of all of his creation, I want to treat you with love, with respect, with honor. And I would hope you'd want to do the same, not only to me, but to other people. That's what we need to get back to in our lives today. We need to understand that people are what it's all about. It's not based upon people's opinions in politics and people's opinions on what we should do here or there, but it's based on what the God-given love that he has instilled in our heart to live out every single day. Love for God in Christ and love for each other. That's what it was built upon. And you know, and with this love, we have a huge responsibility. You know what? Maybe it'll be my next talk. I got something burning inside me, and it's just burning. I got to be honest with you, and I don't know exactly how to talk about it just yet. But I see what's going on in our world, on the political scene, everyday life, and you know, people talk about rights and their rights and love and rights, but see what true love gives to us is responsibility. There's a big difference between rights and responsibility. And we need to talk about that a little bit. And not today. Well, I won't, because it can get too long, but it just reminds me of how far we have come, quite frankly. How far and what we need to do is start speaking up about what true love is and how we are to really love and help each other in every walk of life. And what that means now, let's touch on this second, is that, see, I may say or do something that you don't necessarily like, but that's okay, because I love you. If you're doing something wrong, just as if I'm doing something wrong, and you come to me and say, hey, Tim, don't do that. You shouldn't do that. I think you're nuts. And I go, oh, you don't love me, you don't care for me, and blah, 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 blah. You know, things like that. And does that mean you don't love me? Of course not. You love. It's just like a parent and a child. Is that, well, what do you do when you're raising them? They do a lot of, you love them so much, and they do a lot of nutso things that you correct them and say, oh, you don't love me anymore, you don't care about me, the child will say, and you say, oh, I love you very much. And see, we need that attitude of true love in our everyday life more and more. We can't just sit back and do nothing. When we see what's going on in our world and all the things that we accept, that we accept because we're afraid to say something. We're afraid to hurt someone's feelings, that they won't think that we care or love them. No, that's crazy. As long as you do it in the spirit of love, we need to speak out. We need to help each other. We need to have opinions that are positive and that are Christ-oriented. And knowing that we say it and we do it and we live it for one reason and one reason only. We love you very much. We care. And you know what? How much do you love someone? If you see them in a dysfunctional either relationship or a dysfunction in their life and you say nothing? I mean, are you serious? I mean, come on. I mean, that's ludicrous when you think about it. How can you do that? How can you even say you love someone? When you see that person you supposedly love and they're going down the way that God would not want them to go down, and you allow it, you can't even say something? Come on. Stop it. Let's live in love, with love, in true love. Now, would you do me a favor? Make sure you like this post down here. You know where it's at. Like it. If you're not a subscriber today, do me a favor. It only takes a second. It doesn't cost you a dime. Just subscribe to these videos. And as always, I want to encourage you to make your comments, make your statements, make your questions. I'll try to answer them the best way I can. Even if you disagree with me, that's okay. To me, that's love. You know, just disagree with me, but we all do it in the spirit of love. So I want to encourage you to do that. And just thank you for being a part of these videos. I love it. I enjoy it. And I hope there's at least something that can really help you better your life today. Thank you and happy Valentine's Day.